Do you recognize this work? If Egypt had the mysterious pyramids, thousands of years in a sandstorm, the Indian desert has an architectural marvel named or China owns the Great Wall. Our neighbor in the southwest of our country, they own the building that we're seeing. The massive tall towers, the frieze temples, and the vast corridors, it's made of big rocks. It's all about creating an incredibly majestic Angkor Wat. And it's not natural. This place is called the Jewel of Cambodia's Temple Tower country. The people of Egypt are proud to say that their ancestors built it. It's one of the great architectural works, the best in the world, and so do Cambodians. You see the text on this flag? That's the symbol of Angkor Wat. And every time I see it, I wonder, who's really created this greatness? We have every right to doubt about the real owners of these buildings. Why? Because it's our own advanced science right now. It can't be explained. How the ancients built. So, the pyramid or Angkor Wat? The city of temples in Cambodia, how it was built. And AI is the real owner of the great Angkor Wat. Let's find the answer. Ask these questions in the video today of Hekifish channel. The real owner of Angkor Wat? Angkor Wat is a temple complex in Cambodia. With an area of more than 6 million square meters, this place is religious architecture, largest in the world. Western scholars have been stunned. Hard to believe that being Khmer, we can build this great temple. At the same time as ancient Rome, a Portuguese clergyman named Antonio da Madalena visited the temple in 150086. He had to exclaim in amazement, the beauty and greatness of Angkor Wat, that it's such a special construction that you can't describe it with a pen. Especially because it's not like any building in the world. It has towers, exquisite patterns, and lines that only geniuses can do. Let's look at the overall map of the population. Angkor relic. It's easy to see. The striking structure of this architectural ensemble, these are the temples. Along with the narrow corridors, Angkor Wat is a complex of religious buildings. With an area up to 162.6 hertz, that's 1.6%, 26 million square meters. And Angkor Thom, it is the oldest and largest capital of the Khmer Empire. With an area up to more than 9 square kilometers, that's what we're looking at today. Just one of hundreds, even thousands, big and small, temple of this great architecture. Angkor Wat is located inside a canal, and the surrounding wall is 3.5 kilometers long. The main hall has 3 floors with rectangular architecture, connected by rows of bad carpet corridors. Temple area. It's built in the shape of a pyramid, with 5 main towers symbolizing Mount Meru of India. According to legend, Mount Meru is in the middle of the ocean in space, and that ocean is a deep and wide moat. Built around Angkor Wat. Main electric Angkor Wat is a 3-tiered architecture. Connected by these deep corridors, the first floor represents hell. The most unique of this floor are the sculptures on the walls of the row. The lowest floor, with 2.5 meters height, stretched over 800 meters, you can think of these as hand sculptures on the rock, longest in the world, to describe the sutras of the Brahmins. The triumph of King Sujavarman II. At the bottom of the picture is the war, stir milk, sea. In legend, the monkeys and the battle of sea. The dance of the goddess at the corners of Angkor Wat and every centimeter of the temple. Nowhere is there no sculpture. The sculptural lines on the stone are so meticulous that people mistakenly think they're sculpted on a mold available human. Without the help of advanced equipment, it's very difficult to complete the carvings. Carved like that, the temple was built on the principle of pre-arranged stones. And then the architects started to carve. The evidence is in the columns on the first floor. There are still traces of the sculptures unfinished. The lowest floor of an There are pools of water for the king to bathe in. The water is now dry. On the second floor, which represents the world, there is a large yard. It's surrounded by walls. Inside are the temples of the gods. Area. The second floor is where the sewer system is. The temple. In the spaces, the temple of the Vishnu gods in black stone. On the second floor, there are countless paintings depicting the Apsara dancers, dancing with bare boobs. And below is just one of them. The third floor represents heaven. With a height of 65 meters is the highest floor. It is considered the place of the gods. The third floor consists of two intersecting 10-letter corridors. At the intersection of the two corridors, the center of Angkor Wat. The tower at the center of the temple is the tallest tower of Angkor Wat. Around the tower are 4 square corridors. At every corner of the hallway is a tower. Central Tower and 4 surrounding towers form the famous skyline of Angkor Wat. The stairs up the central tower. It's divided into 4 sides. Steepness, nearly 45 degrees. Narrow and extremely difficult. Leo. In the great rooms of the temple, there's a very mysterious place. It makes a soft sound like a drum, echoing back in the void. Angkor Wat is a magnificent architectural achievement, demonstrate a deep level in every way. It was built on top of Angkor, and it's the most precious jewel of the country. Angkor Wat Temple is admired by majestic beauty and harmony of architecture, the richness of sculptural art, and the large number of gods that are on the stone walls. Central Tower of Angkor Wat, 65 meters high. It is taller than any church bell tower in Europe. It was built before the 15th century. Beneath the big towers are long corridors, cool suction hung with vivid relief blocks. Angkor Thom. It is located 7.2 kilometers north of Siem Reap City. The city walls are up to 8 meters high, built of beehive, with the fortifications at the top. In each direction, there is a gate. The roads lead from the gates straight to the Bayon Temple. In the city center, time erases almost everything, but the great enclave still exists. Beyond time, they're barely damaged. The glorious past of it can be seen on a large scale, and finely carved V structures. After many years, the mysterious ancient beauty is still intact. Maybe it's S.A. jelly from Mount Kulin helped this work at all? Before the flow of history, Angkor Wat has spectacular beauty. Because it's the perfect symbol of Hinduism, this temple was originally built to worship the Hindu god of preservation Vishnu. Angkor Wat, it's a microcosm of the Hindu universe. The special thing is probably here. Angkor Wat has more than 3,000 Apsara carvings, the fairies of Hinduism. And every touch has a form, or different expressions. Whether the people of the 8th century can build a building that requires ingenuity, ingenious and delicate vi like this, without the help of science or not, Bayon Temple. It's built in the Buddhist architectural style. Each tower consists of 4 giant stone gods, with an exquisitely carved mysterious smile. Each tower has 4 faces of the gods, go back in 4 different directions. To this day, no one can explain expressions like laughter, sad eyes, thinking face, on the faces of other statues. On the temples, this tower includes scientists, or the indigenous people themselves. You have to shake your head in front of them. According to the ancient remains, along with ancient sources, this man is considered to have built the great work of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Today, he was the legendary king who ruled the Khmer nation from 1113 to 1100, 4 or 5, even though this architectural body still has hands, contributions of many others. But look at general. The reason that modern historians consider kings, Sayavaman II was the man who built Angkor Wat. Maybe it's for this reason. This is the relief. To carve his image with you, Khmer is found in this relic population after it was discovered in the mid-19th century. But obviously, you will also feel a bad feeling when you look at this relief. Right. What we want to talk about here is, compared to the great Angkor Wat, sophisticated and full of complexity, It seems that the second Suyamama relief, it's too simple. Small, superficial, and faint. If you're really the one who built this, maybe your mark will have to be stronger. At SAU, a man who created a great building can be celebrated in a superficial way? It's just a relief. Which makes us ask ourselves the question that Susavama material too. Is it the real owner of an architectural ensemble or not? After letting the Khmer Empire wither, Angkor Wat has been abandoned. To this day, people keep wondering, why such a great project? It can be forgotten by humans. Some people think that there was a bloody battle. It's causing people here to evacuate. Others think that people leave because they change their religion. From Khmer Hinduism, Buddhism in the 13th and 14th centuries, there is also an opinion that the water system in the city doesn't work, so people have moved elsewhere to find water. Although it's abandoned and increasingly overrun by the jungle, but the locals know about this army. Until the 19th century, in 1860, Angkor Wat, by a French naturalist and explorer, Henri Mahat discovered it from inside the jungle. Talk about the topic high Wat. That hot, right? One of these temples was Solomon's rival. The Ship Temple, the pre-Christian myth of Judaism, may occupy a position of honor next to the most beautiful buildings. It's ours. It's greater than anything that's Greek or code. Leave it to us. And it's shown in a sad contrast. With savage conditions, this country is currently sinking. That hot, like the other early Western travelers, find it hard to believe the Khmer may have built the temple and think that it dates to about the same time as ancient Rome. Great. The true history of Angkor Wat, pieced together from the evidence of style and stuff accumulated during the cleaning process, and then recover. There is no ordinary place or house, or other signs of settlement, including cooking utensils, weapons, or clothing. It is often found in Angkor Wat. To prove that the Khmer built it in the 13th century. Instead, there's only evidence of the monuments themselves. It is important to know that the reign of Susavoman II, it's about time. The Khmer nation is on its way. He was even said to have lost the battle, and died in the battle to invade our country at 1245 at Vukwang Then Ho Peak. This day, 1250, the kingdom of Champa. That engulfed Khmer in a short time. Like that, it's hard for Suyavama to build Angkor Wat, as historians still see it. The monumental constructions, it's usually built with work, money, or even blood. The tears of the people of that time to build the Forbidden City, one of the great wonders of the world, with an area of 720 square meters, less than half of the building that we're looking at. It took the Chinese 14 years. During that time, 1 million workers, 100,000 craftsmen had to work continuously. Let's compare a little closer. According to historical records, to have funds to build Khai Din village with a very modest area of 5,674 square meters, King Khai decided to raise taxes by 30% across the country and take that money to make a village. All of this means it's hard to imagine. A base, not very strong at the time. You can build Angkor Wat, so great and so massive. Where did the Khmer people get the resources to build it? If they are not the owners, the reality of this work, then AI is the ones who actually built it. The scientists have discovered that there are many famous ancient buildings on Earth. They're all in a straight line. This is called the path around the Earth. And it's not just one such line that appears. Let's look at the map of the Earth's transmission path. To make it easier to imagine, one of these routes runs through the island. The resurrection of the Egyptian pyramids, drawings on the Peruvian Nazca Plateau, Angkor Wat, the capital Persepolis of the ancient Persian Empire, Mohenjo-Daro, Old City, and the site is seen by some as there are 6 places of Atlantis in the legend. It's amazing. It's a mysterious circle. I have connected these places for a while. The error does not exceed 1/10 of a latitude. With the center of the circle in the southeastern part of the Alaskan Plain, United States of America. Many people today call these vectors, it's the meridians of the Earth. It's because it runs through ancient buildings, has extraordinary architecture, and there are countless mysteries that people or that modern science can't solve. Many of us already know that works that are on the path of transmission have undergone. Angkor Wat is said to the special works, and it can't be built by the ancients. In our 5,000-year-old civilization, for example, the painting on the Peruvian Azca Plateau, the stone statues on Easter Island, the city of the scientists have discovered that the pyramids and sphinx on the plateau inscribed sea access. It shows signs of being submerged in seawater for thousands of years. With the erosive manifestations of seawater, this leads to the theory that these buildings must have been built for a long time, more than 2,500 years ago, a lot, or even crazy ideas. Given that the pyramid, it's the power plants of the ancients. It's also becoming persuasive, as more evidence is found out. Compared to the 3 Great Pyramids on the plateau inscribed at, it's over 100 meters tall and the architecture is very sustainable. The other pyramids in Egypt are much lower. There's worse architecture, very unsustainable, and there's no sign of being submerged in the sea. This has led to the interpretation 3 Great Pyramids built by the priests of history. 5,000 years before this civilization of mankind, we have the Kim. The smaller pyramid is actually the one Egypt in civilization. This time we simulate and build. This caused confusion. Wrong for the next generation of origin. The real of the pyramids. What does all of the things mentioned here mean? Our idea is that maybe Angkor Wat was built by people of civilization, history, not by the Khmer Empire in the 13th century. The doses. Is there any credible evidence for this claim? Angkor Wat has many sculptures to describe extinct animals millions of years ago. There are also carvings, the telescope, and the solar system. How do sculptors do that? This temple can know the things of the past, millions of years ago, and what happened hundreds of years later? Who actually built this mysterious temple? The recent discoveries of Previn Mohan, he's an Indian amateur scientist, has yielded very compelling evidence that with technology 900 years ago, Angkor Wat, it's hard to be built by Cambodians. Prabhupada calculated that to build Angkor Wat covers an area of 6 million square meters, must use at least 10 million cubic meters of ice. Vesuvius Magna II was the one who built it, aqueduct for 37 years, and that the workers were constantly working 12 hours a day. It took 37 years to build. That's 9,723,600 minutes. So the amount of rock that needs to be mined is equal to 1 ton. In a minute, stone color in how to eat over 80 kilometers high is considered the main source of stone for this building, but it's easy to see that the exploitation, transporting 1 T-stones over a distance of 80 kilometers, then cutting and assembling. It all happens in a minute. It's something that can't be done, even with today's technology. Suppose the king, Sairveman II, we've got 1,000 teams to work with. The ability to complete all of the above, to assemble a ton of rock in 1,000 minutes. With Cambodia's rudimentary level of technology, 900 years ago, how do people move the SA blocks? Giant jelly weighing up to 1.5 t and completed the Angkor Wat complex. In just 35 years? It's a question that's been going on for 10 years. Now, scientists have used satellites and capture very important images. In the satellite imagery, we see a canal that's 32 kilometers long, dug through the Kingdom of Cambodia, used in the transport of JG. Professor Sora Yoshida of the University, Waseda in Tokyo, said, "These canals have been dug to serve the transportation of the temple building blocks. Compared to land transport routes, this waterway, it saves a lot of time. This is the shortest route, and it shows that the ancient Khmer built the in a systematic way and how effective it is." Professor Uchida and his associates find traces of the canals, While studying these satellite images, the areas around the architectural ensemble, Angkor Wat, they've discovered traces, canals that run straight from the quarry site to where the temple was built. To survey this area, they found some channels. The rest still contains water, while many other channels disappeared over the years, or has dried up, or has been stopped. The team also discovered large rocks, square to sharp, next to many different locations along the canal. It may have fallen into the water during transportation, by raft, or brought to shore for some reason. Carrying a grid of canals running from the quarry area in the Australian ceiling, land where archaeologists have discovered that that's the stone used in the construction of Angkor. The archaeologists also found 50 more quarries along the route that the canals took. Previously, experts believed that the giant stones mentioned above was transported overland from Mount Kulon to a river that leads to Lake Tony Sak. From there, they will be transported by boat to the Siem Reap River, and then it's pulled up. Construction works in the ancient capital of Angkor Thom. Yasushi said, new findings have shown the shipping route is much more efficient, helps to shorten significant progress in the construction of massive works in the ancient capital of Angkor Chung and Angkor Wat. In particular, he said, one wish. It's estimated that digging these canals will only take a few years. It's possible to use boats to transport stones. With this canal system, the old man didn't have to go up the river Siem Reap and can transport giant stones. Set above faster, more effective. It took the Khmer only 35 years, shipped 5 million trillion SA jelly, instead of taking 100 years. This seems to convince us that the Khmer are the owners of the award. But the following evidence, it might make you change your mind. It's easy to see the difference. When looking at the image, the gods. It is built on the buildings of Angkor Wat. The gods are carved. The stone pillars from the time of King Suryavarman II are very beautiful, smooth. The joints between the stones are very skillfully and meticulously made. While the Buddha statues were carved in the time of the king, Raja Vaiman VII, later, it was very rough and rugged. Because of the technology between two generations, just a few 15 apart, such a difference in the sky, if you say it's been engineered by 7, that would take at least hundreds, it's even thousands of years. Praven Mohan. It is also found in Angkor Wat. There's a small stone tower. It's built very badly. In stark contrast to the size, technology of fabrication engineering, durability and aesthetic level, compared to other buildings in Angkor Wat, Angkor Thom is in ruins, and the level of architecture is also far behind. Mohan said that this ugly and unsustainable building, this is the product that the Cambodians 900 years ago created. The construction of Angkor Wat, it's probably not Cambodian heritage of the time. If it's made at the same time, maybe the difference wasn't that big. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's hard to imagine a man creating a great building, the greatest in the world, but in a superficial way, with just a little relief like that. At a building in Angkor Wat, there's a battle between Vishnu and Indra. Praven Mohan discovered a detail. Describe a person on the Indra side, using a strange object to observe the god Vishnu. That object was identified as a telescope. The history of modern science notes that the telescope was Hans Lipsy, discovered out in 1608, 400 years ago. So why the Capuchin could have used this glass 900 years ago? Maybe they're hiding their own time machine to discover things that are beyond our imagination, or why this theory is even more incredible. The same strange thing is that Praven Mohan, also found at Hosalswara Temple in India, it is believed to have been built in the 12th century. There's a carving of a battle between two gods. There's also a telescope user in there to observe. Both temples are made of stone. It's an extremely complex architecture, supposedly built in the same century, in two different countries, and the same description of the telescope. An object is considered reality at the time of construction. It's a big question for scientists. Today, in two completely foreign countries, why does it have the same intersection? It's all just a coincidence or something. It's hard to believe, but it's not the strangest thing. On the stone statue at Angkor Wat, Praven Mohan discovered the carving of a four-horned elephant. This is a real animal in history, and became extinct 2 million years ago. One set. The fossil bones of this animal were found in Sulawesi, Indonesia. It's on display at the National Museum. So, 900 years ago, when archaeology hadn't developed yet, how did the sculptors... It's possible to think of these extinct animals. Angkor Wat is the only mountain temple in Cambodia. There's a main entrance to the west, direction of the setting sun. The way this layout feels majestic, great for people to go to the temple, by the image of the massive temple complex, standing out from the sun's glare, especially in the sunset. Every 2 days on the equinox, between March 20th and September 20th, the visitors can see this amazing phenomenon. The only one of the year, the sun rises on March 20th, or get off at 9:20 p.m. At the top of the highest tower of Angkor Wat, from the entrance of the temple. Just on these 2 days, the sun can go in that position. If it's all just a coincidence, it can't happen every year. Why do 900 years ago, it's possible to identify the equinox phenomenon, and built Angkor Wat to that exact degree. At Sao, another building with a painting, in which the Hindu sun god sits in the middle, and 9 people are sitting down with their hands on him. And this means that the real owner of the stars, this temple is wanted. Description of the solar system. The sun and the 9 major planets are orbiting, but it should be noted that Neptune was discovered nearly 400 years ago by astronomer What about Pluto? Even newly discovered RA in the year 1930, both of these stars can't be seen with the naked eye, without a telescope. So why is it that 900 years ago in Cambodia, it's possible to have accurate astronomical knowledge, and they even have telescopes, to see 2 new planets in our solar system? This knowledge, it really crossed the line. Understanding and human development in the 8th century, there must be some great civilization that can make such knowledge available. Light. It will be equivalent, or even more so, the civilization that we have, a civilization of alien friends. For example, in 2071, an international team of researchers used the image satellites and other modern technologies conclude that the military, it's the center of a pre-industrial city, largest in the world. This city has a complex infrastructure system, connecting a metropolitan area, market area from 1,000 to 3,000 square kilometers, to the famous temples in the center of the city. It's considered a hydraulic city, because there's a complex water management network used for stability, systematically store and disperse water, for production and living, of a population of 7,500,000,000,000, 1 million people. If this city really existed in the 1100s, then surely Khmer is the most powerful country in the world, and their civilization will be handed down to this day. But that's clearly not the case. It can only be doubted that pre-industrial city with palm lettering. Wax is a prehistoric city. It's built by people who show up 5,000 years before civilization, this time ours. So AI is the real owner of Angkor Wat. It's still a mysterious question. Most likely part Angkor Tom. They are also prehistoric buildings. The Khmer kings built new buildings. Tom adds, has poorer quality and durability. It makes the next generation indistinguishable. Where is the truth? This also, it's similar to the Egyptian pyramids. The water is worn away. The dust of time is there. It can put some terrible truth to sleep, or make buildings disappear. But Angkor Wat is an exception. Despite the fluctuations of history, let the Sao switch between the silent time stream. This building is still standing there. It exists with the moon. And even if it's built by a... it is still in our possession now. People who live on this planet, if one day the mystery of England is coming to light, would probably cause the flow of humanity, there are many changes. Do you believe in the theory that the greatest treasure of archaeology today, Angkor Wat, it's the product of an alien civilization? We are living, or not. Don T. Forget to leave your opinion in the comments section. And now, hello, I'll see you in the videos. Next, on the Heckyfish channel.